Nobody taught you to stay quiet. You learned it. And there's a difference between those two things that most people will never understand. Being taught to be quiet means someone told you to stop. Learning to be quiet means you tried to speak, and something happened, and you decided, without anyone explaining it to you, without anyone sitting you down and telling you, you just decided on your own. Quietly, privately, in a way that left no trace. That it wasn't worth it anymore. This video is about that moment. Not the moment anyone would remember, the moment only you carry. And by the end of this, you're going to understand something that nobody in your life ever named. Not why you went quiet, but what you lost when you did. Think about the first time it happened. Not the first time someone told you to be quiet. The first time you said something real, something that mattered to you, and nobody responded the way you needed them to. Maybe you were excited. Maybe you ran into the room with something you had to share. Something that felt enormous inside your chest. And the person you ran to was on the phone. Or tired. Or just not there in the way you needed them to be there. And they said something like, "Not now." Or they laughed, not cruelly, just dismissively, the way adults laugh at things that feel small to them but feel like the whole world to you. You were standing there holding something precious, and they handed it back to you like it was nothing. And you didn't cry, or maybe you did cry, but you went somewhere else to do it. Because even then, even at 7 or 8 or 9, you already understood something. That some feelings were yours to carry alone. But here's what I want you to stay with, because this is where it starts, and most people miss it entirely. It wasn't that nobody loved you. Some of them did. It's that love and being seen are not the same thing. And you were loved. But you were not always seen, so you tried again. Children always try again. It's one of the most quietly devastating things about them. They keep trying. You told someone how you felt. Maybe you said you were scared. Maybe you said something hurt. Maybe you said you wanted something. A small thing. A normal thing. And the response you got wasn't cruel. It was just nothing. Not angry. Not dismissive on purpose. Just not fully there. And something registered in you, not as a thought, not as words. You were too young for that. It registered as a feeling in your body. Something like, this doesn't go anywhere. When you speak, the words go up, and they just stay there. Nobody catches them. Nobody does anything with them. Think about a time you were crying in your room, and you waited. You waited to hear footsteps. You waited for the door to open, and the door didn't open. Not because nobody heard you. Maybe they did, but they didn't come. And at some point, you stopped waiting. Not dramatically. No decision was made. You just stopped. You know what's interesting about children? They don't decide to hide things. They just notice, over time, which things are worth showing. She showed something once. Something real. Something that cost her. And the person she showed it to got uncomfortable. Not mean. Not dismissive on purpose. Just uncomfortable. Changed the subject. Made a joke. Moved on. And she filed that away. Not as a lesson anyone taught her. As a data point. This is what happens when I show too much. They get uncomfortable. And then I have to manage their discomfort on top of my own. So she started editing before she spoke. She'd feel something, the full uncut version of it, and then she'd compress it, trim it, make it smaller, make it something someone could hold without flinching. By the time she said anything, it was already a fraction of what she meant. And even then, sometimes she'd get halfway through a sentence and see their face. And she'd change course. Never mind, it's not important. But it was important. It was always important. She just learned that important didn't mean it would be received. And that stopping, that quiet, invisible stopping, is where the first wound went in. Not loud, not visible. Just a small door that closed inside you. And it's still closed. I'll come back to that door before this ends. So she adapted, the way children always adapt. Completely, silently, without anyone noticing. She learned to read the room before she entered it. She learned to feel the energy before she spoke. Is this a good moment? Is this person safe? Will they receive this? She learned to hold the question in her mouth for a long time before she asked it. And most of the time, she swallowed it. Not because she didn't have things to say. She had everything to say, but she had learned, without a lesson, without a teacher, that speaking came with a cost. And most of the time, it wasn't worth it. She became quiet in groups. Shy is about fear of judgment. This was something else. This was strategy. If I stay quiet, I stay safe. If I don't ask, I won't be left empty-handed. She became the child that nobody worried about. She's so easy. She never complains. She's so mature for her age. The inside version was still waiting for someone to notice the difference between them both. And maybe part of you even now wants to say, but that was me. That was just who I was. That's my personality. Stay with that, because what I'm going to tell you next is the part that matters. Here is where the video changes, because everything I've described so far, the girl who learned to be quiet, the girl who stopped waiting, the girl who folded her hands and became easy, you might have been nodding along thinking about your childhood, about someone you used to be. But I need you to look at your life right now. Not then. Now. When was the last time you asked for what you actually needed? Not hinted, not hoped they'd notice, not waited for them to offer. Actually asked. When someone disappointed you, not catastrophically, just in the small, everyday way that people disappoint each other. Did you say something? Or did you say, it's fine? And when you said it's fine, was it fine? Or did you just decide, again, quietly, privately, in a way that left no trace, that it wasn't worth it? Because here's what nobody talks about. The girl who learned to stay quiet didn't stop being quiet when she grew up. She just got better at hiding that she was doing it. Remember I told you about the door that closed inside her? The one she stopped knocking on? She stopped knocking on other people's doors too. She stopped expecting to be let in, not because she gave up, but because she forgot, genuinely forgot, that being let in was even an option. She goes to the party. She talks, she laughs, she functions. But there's a part of her that's watching from somewhere slightly outside, always behind a thin piece of glass, close enough to see everything, just far enough to feel nothing the way it's supposed to feel. And she doesn't tell anyone that. Not because she's lying, because she doesn't even know how to say it. The words for it, she buried them so long ago that she doesn't remember where she put them. She's so strong. She handles everything so well. She never seems to need anything. And she learned to hear that as a compliment. Because what else was she supposed to do with it? But here is the wound under the wound. The silence wasn't the problem. The problem is what happened while she was silent. While she was staying quiet, being easy, not asking, not reaching, not knocking, a story about herself. A story that said, the reason I don't ask is because the answer will be no. The reason I don't speak is because nobody will listen. The reason I don't reach is because nothing will be there. And that story isn't about the people who didn't come when she cried. That story is about her, about her voice, about what her voice is worth. She stopped asking, and then she stopped believing she deserved to be answered. There's a difference between choosing to be quiet and not knowing how to be loud anymore. One is power, the other is loss. And somewhere along the way, she confused them. She told herself the silence was strength. She told herself she didn't need. She told herself she was fine with less. And in a way, she was fine. She had learned to be fine. She had gotten extraordinarily good at being fine. But fine isn't the same as full. And quiet isn't the same as at peace. And alone isn't the same as okay. She knew the difference. She just stopped saying it. I told you at the beginning of this that by the end, you'd understand not why you went quiet, but what you lost when you did. This is it. She didn't lose her voice. She still has words. She can still speak. She lost the belief that her words land somewhere. She lost the reflex to try. Not permanently, not forever, but deeply enough that trying now feels strange in her body. Like a language she used to speak that she's forgotten the syntax of. She wants to say something. She can feel it. It's right there. But the habit is older than the wanting, and the habit wins. And nobody in that room knows what almost happened. Nobody taught her to stay quiet. She learned it. She learned it the way you learn anything that protects you. Completely, efficiently, without even noticing. And after years of staying quiet, it was that she stopped expecting them to. If any part of what you just watched felt familiar, not like a lesson, like a mirror, then there's something else you need to see. Because the silence doesn't start where you think it does. It starts earlier, much earlier. And that's what the next video is about.